welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. It is the day that the Lord has made. I'm Ken Ochonogo. We look forward to this day. We'll be looking forward to this day for some time now. Since, when was the last time we played the finals? When was the last time? 2013. And since then, it has been some form of topsy-turvy. We've been going on and not qualifying, from not qualifying to being knocked out. And here we are, that even the target that is given to a Super Eagles manager is take us to the semi-finals. But today, right there in Abidjan, right there in Côte d'Ivoire, the Super Eagles, becomes the new bed of prey to see, can we replicate what we have done 3 times again? Can we do it again? Hashtag, they said, do it again. The belief from our initiative from the very beginning is that we can do it. And when you have not gone into that particular, stride to say we are moving gradually, growing, they say growing with the competition, getting it better, dotting your I's and crossing the T's. Of course, there must be some of those mistakes, but then, like Oliseh said the other time, the team that makes the least mistake at this level is the one that goes home with the ultimate diadem. We're going to have a full house, the packed house of legends. We're going to have a house of those who have achieved it, a house of those who know how to do it. They've done it before. Now they are saying, we've done it before, you can do it again. So it's going to be AFCON final today with some little news outside. Some sweet ones, some surprises, some not too palatable, but then it has to be the finals of the 2023 AFCON at the 34th edition. And Nigeria been there in 20 times. 20 times we've been there. 16 of those times we've gotten to the last 4. So I tell you this, we have 80% appearance at the quarterfinals. But right now we are in the finals. 16 at the quarterfinals, 8 in the finals. Because this is the 8th one. 7 previous one, we won 3. We lost 4. The equation must balance. The equation must balance today. Don't tell me that, Ken, you have to be neutral. I'm not neutral. When it comes to Nigeria, I'm less of a professional. It is my emotion that works. It is my belief. It is my prayer that we're talking about here. We have the Catalan in the house. Are you in a celebrating mood, or you are? There is that fear that you are playing the host team. Fear.
The host team, I went black for them already.
Why did you wear white for Nigeria?
Yeah, good afternoon, viewers. It's good to be back. It's been a long time coming, at least since 2013. Yeah. So now, I remember when we won it the last time, and the celebrations on the street and the joy all over social media. Nothing brings Nigerians together like football. Nothing brings Nigerians together than that collective knowledge that, yes, we can actually go out there and we can do the needful. And in as much as, yes, I know there's been a lot of banter about we didn't play Ghana, but Ghana being knocked out of the tournament, they've gone through it at our hands on social media. But we knocked out Cameroon. So did we Angola. And even the host nation are facing today. We have faced them earlier in the group stage. And there are a lot of things that we have to be happy about. Today makes it 2 years that Ademola Lookman tweeted that tweet that he had declared his allegiance to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And so far, this tournament, he's had a roller coaster. And there was something that I'm also proud of is the fact that 2 goalkeepers from the South African League at the verge of going home going with the Golden Gloves. Yeah. And Wambali has to keep a clean sheet today, and they will tie Williams, and they both go home with the Golden Gloves. And I feel they have been phenomenal. They have been exceptional in penalty shootout. Williams saving 6 penalties in a shootout. We saved 4 against Cape Verde, saving 2 again yesterday. It's just shown that yes, even on the continent we have it. I'm so glad that we are where we are right now. And like I said, my respect to be as loud as my disrespect. Quite a number of Nigerians didn't give these guys the chance or the light of day. I know, from bashing the coaches to some of the players and all of that. But we've seen revelations after revelations after revelations, and we are super impressed. I told you already, we win today. You see Oshimen's hairstyle on my hair next week.
I like that. You know, I think it was one of these shows that I tell you guys that when the Serbians were playing that Davis Cup, and then the president of the Tennis Federation of Serbia said, "Look, if we win the Davis Cup for the first time for this young nation, I am going to have my hair shaved right there, you know, on the court." And the moment they won, the players came out with the clipper and then shaved his hair. I mean, as smooth as Ken Ochonogo's hair. You understand that was how it is. But then, like we said, we're going down. If you want to, they said, well, if you want to win, think about winning. If you want to succeed, think about success. Follow success, and that is what is going to be. Today we have successes in the house. We have success, so there are no way about it. Anyway you look about it, the team that has started since the beginning of this session are here right there in the house. We don't sign them. This contract has been signed, sealed, and delivered, and we are renewing. But then, I want to go, because we're talking about finals. We want to start by going, first of all, let us go to Spain. Let us go to Spain and see what it is like in the mood when you are preparing for a final. And then when that final has to do with what joker do you have? He is a former African Footballer of the Year. So that team, the best in the continent. So that is part one. Right there, when in 1994, 95 and 96, Nigeria won 3 trophies. And those 3 trophies, we won the AFCON, we won the Olympic in 1996, but in between, we won the Afro-Asian Championship. That cup, what would be the Uzbekistan. I think that is how to pronounce their names. So we beat the Zambia, Uzbekistan, and then we beat the Argentines. And somebody scored the winning goal, 2 goals against Zambia, scored the winning goal against the Uzbekistan, and scored the winning goal when we won the Olympic gold medal. So I tell you this is history. This is a born winner. Of course, he was born on a Christmas day, but every day in Nigeria is a Christmas when we take on that pitch in the final. I want to introduce to you Emmanuel Amuneke. Emma, how are you? Emma is reaching us from Spain. Yeah. Emma, how are you?
How are you? I'm good. Happy Sunday. How are you, Ken?
I'm good. I'm fine. We are fine here. There is no fear. We fear no foes today. I don't know. In 1994, you were the. I don't understand. You were the joker. West Ham used you as the joker, but we don't know how he used you as the joker. In the semi-finals, we talked about how Bonfrey used Tijani against South Africa as the joker when he came in the semi-final. But you in the final in 1994, West Ham introduced you. We didn't see you from the beginning of the championship, and in the finals you popped up somewhere, and before we know it, what was the discussion you had with West Ham, you know, when you knew that you were going to start that game?
Thank you very much, Ken. Actually, I never expected that I'm going to start. I think the closest I could get was against Zaire when I was warming up, and at the end of the day, I have to go back to sit. It's so interesting, Ken, because that team was so full of talented players. So anyone that finds himself playing, you know, means he deserves to be playing. And those that are not playing doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be playing. It's just that that team at that time, you know, Nigeria, we had a group of talented players with different attribution and different talent. And the good thing was that, you know, we were able to bring that together and achieve those success during those periods, and qualifying to the World Cup, winning the AFCON, and then going to the Olympic and all sorts. But the good thing is that when Westerhoff said I'm going to play, you know, I was a little bit in kind of a doubt because I have never played any game to the final. But of course, I was also confident and believe in myself that if the opportunity comes, I just have to, you know, also go into the pitch to add value to the team, like what the rest of the guys that have played have done in the team. So it was a very good, you know, atmosphere. You're talking about final, of course. There's a whole lot going into the mind of the players. The players in question, they want to win the the final. The tension is there, but of course, we players sometimes, we don't show it. We keep it within ourselves. Some handle it differently. Some try to listen to music. Some try to be quiet in their own way. But of course, the cup, everything is going into their mind. They want to play. They want to win that cup. They want to make sure that at least they bring happiness to the people that have been with them, the fans that have been supporting them. And a lot will be going through the mind of these players. And I just pray, they can be in the position to be able, to manage those moments and be able, to come out victorious at the end of the day.
Yes, I can understand that butterflies right there in the stomach. But then last week we were with Skippo, Sonny, and then Sonny was moving from Germany to Belgium. Right now, he landed while the show was ending, so it was a bon voyage. But Emmanuel, let us go to Belgium and take on Skippo and see because last week you were saying. One of your fears, make I put it like this, is that we will not go play this Cote d'Ivoire for final. Cote d'Ivoire, the Ivorians were dead and buried. In fact, they sacked their coach. I think there is this movie, what is the worst that can happen? You understand? It can't get worse than this. And then they now ask their rookie assistant coach, who are just handling their 23 and junior teams, to come and just fill the gap. Why will be filling the gap? We ended up sending Senegal out. Filling the gap, ended up being in the final. 60,000 Ivorians will be there cheering these Patriots on the pitch and believe that they've got a second chance. Like Phoenix, they have risen out of the dead. And then here they are trying to achieve the impossible at home. They've hosted before at home in 84, they did not win. There are 2 titles they won. They won in Senegal in 92. You remember that shootout with Ghana? In fact, there are 2 finals they beat Ghana, because it was Ghana they also beat in Cote d'Ivoire in 2015 when they also won. So they've won 2 titles all away. This is the time to do hooray at home. What will be, if you are in that team, in the Nigerian team, or at the bench or whatever, what will you be telling the players now? We're beating them once right here, which is going to make it more difficult. And then it's psychological, because there will be vengeance in their mind trying to face us. Sonny, okay, you guys, do I introduce him again? How many times do I introduce him? Sunday Oliseh, former captain, former coach of the Super Eagles. We call him the Skippo because, there are a lot of things he has done. Someday we are going to have a full 2 hours show with him, and then so that we'll look at this. But Sonny, what will you be at this point in time? You were in 94, you were, like I spoke with Emmanuel just now, before going to that finals against the Zambians. In 2000, before going to the finals against the Cameroonians. The mood in camp, you have experienced it. So what will you be telling the players at this point in time, based on your experience?
Well, good afternoon, Ken. Emma, which one?
Ale.
Hi, bro. The thing there is that as at 1994, that was the different one. That was the difficult one, because we knew that if we won that title, we were going to become legends. Now, you are a legend if you've done something nobody has ever done. If you repeat what somebody has done, you are not a legend. You follow the road they put to. Now, that was about to be the first group of Nigerians to ever go out of Nigeria and win the Nations Cup. And also, the style and the dominance we put in there was something they had never seen before. Like you see, the team was so stocked up that even a talented and stacked player like Emmanuel Amuneke, I'm not saying that because he's here or because he's my friend, I remember a night before the game, I went, they gave us free, and I went out with Emma and Finidi, we went to the zoo, and then, I and Finidi, we have to tell him, like, man, get your mind ready, if you play, we need you, something like that. And the man came in the next day to deliver. I think as a coach at this stage, what you can only do, especially if you're playing a team you've beaten before, as a coach, all you can do now is that you have to make the players realize that this is a total new ball game. It will be, if you take into complacency, I think that because you beat them before, you can do it again. No. In fact, let's be tactical and realistic about this. When we beat them the first time, we did not dominate them.
Okay.
We scored better, but they played better than us. We are the finals now, and we are amongst ourselves who can tell ourselves the truth. But now playing them, this team feels as if it is destiny that has brought them to the final. They feel as if it is their own right, because the way they suffered and to come up to the final is there. Now, the striker they have, the one striker, Haller, is also someone who who almost died from cancer recently. So he also felt that. But on the other hand, I will be telling my players, listen, we have 220 million people waiting for us. This is a friendly warfare. Well, we saw people died when we beat South Africa. So that means now that you'll be telling your players as a motivational fact, you are not going there now to play for yourself. You're playing now for your family. You're playing now for the whole country. It is the psychological fight you have to play. And that is where you have to start winning it. It's not only on the feet now, it's the brain that's going to win this title.
It's the brain that is going to win it this time. Okay. The young joker then, who was Emmanuel, that you guys were telling, pat him on the back, yourself and Finidi, oh boy, if you play tomorrow, I said, they watch all these zoo them, all the animal for this zoo. Take and relax, so tomorrow that one night you go. That young man has risen to take the under 17 team to the World Cup, won it for Nigeria as a manager, taking the Zambia, Tanzania qualified them for AFCON. I mean, he has also had his both of you are not just accomplished players, both of you are accomplished managers. Oliseh, 14 matches, the Super Eagles under him. Nigeria lost only 2 matches out of those ones, and they're not crucial matches. So that tells you here are super brains that we have working with FIFA and doing things correctly, the way it ought to be done. I'm talking to Emmanuel Amuneke, the coach. Emma, you are beating. Sonny just talked about beating a team earlier, and you are going to meet that team again. I have seen it happen so many times. I don't know, I'm trying to remember the year that Liverpool beat a team, I think 9-0. Was it, is it Wimbledon or one of those things? They beat them 9-0. That was in 1980 something. They beat them 9-0 in the league. And they met in the FA Cup and they knocked Liverpool out. I think it was, I'm trying to remember that thing. You understand? They knocked them out. Unthinkable, very, very unthinkable. A team you have massacred during the season, and you call me. We are meeting, like I've just asked on it now, we are meeting a team at home, a team that was dead and buried, a team that has just resurrected from the ashes, and a team that says now that they say, maybe it is destiny that is pushing us here. But like also say with us, we need to balance this thing. You remember, when we enter quarterfinal, we say, look, now we don't lose 8, we must win 8. We balanced it. We don't enter final now. We don't win, we don't lose 4. We must balance it so that it could be 4-4. What will you be telling as a coach? What will you be telling the players? Coach Emmanuel Amuneke now, what will you be telling the players?
Well, I think Sonny have said a lot in terms of preparing the psychological mind of the players. Making it very clear for them to understand that the team that we played in the group stage, nobody even expected them to be in this journey. And one way or the other, they find themselves back and they were able to eliminate teams like Senegal and other top teams. I think it's being realistic to your players, letting them realize, like what Sonny said, one, they're playing for themselves. Secondly, they're playing for their family. Thirdly, they're playing for Nigerians that are, will be in the stadium back home, trying to look onto them to bring joy. And when you also look at situation of things back home, you could tell that football is the only source that, is making a lot of people happy back home. And I think that plays a very vital and important role in the mind of these players to go into this battle. But also the fact remains that they cannot go into the final, underrating the Ivorian. I think when we go back to analyze this team, what we have seen this team in the group stage is not what we are seeing now in the knockout stage. They have, improved a lot. And if we remember the game against Nigeria, one of the mistakes the Ivorians were doing in that game was They were trying to force their play through the middle, where there is no possibility in the space to break the through, because Nigerian team, they were more well-balanced and organized defensively. But when you look at the present team of Ivory Coast, most of their playing is coming from the wing. So I think they have realized that, they need to improve, and they have done that. But, going into the final, like Sonny said, you only have one game to play. And that one game is the final. And you can't play it twice. You just need to do everything possible from tactical point of the game, from game management is key. Because this game today, I think whomever scored first and were able to defend it very well wins the game. You shouldn't expect much goals in this game today. You should expect who score and were able to defend it, and were able to manage the game to their own tempo. That will bring a lot of frustration to the opponent. But I think Nigeria have the capacity, Nigeria have the possibility. It's just the ability for them, to be calm and know when to manage the game, and know when it calls for them to defend. They've been doing that perfectly, defending very well. But in the final, little details, one mistake could cost you to lose the game, and one possibility of taking your chances could give you the edge of winning the game. So a whole lot is in this game today, Ken.
Okay, before we ask you the next question, I want to stick with you. Emmanuel, I want to stick with you. Sonny answered this question last week when we were looking about the tactical formation. Nigeria evolving from 4-4-2. You understand? Maybe playing. With maybe 1-4-2 or 4-4-1-1 or so, or whoever putting Oliseh in front of there, and then coming out to that 3-5. To that we are playing, that we have 3 at the back. The way you just talked about the Ivorians playing from the wings. In 2000, some of us saw that probably our drawback before we came back into the game against Cameroon in the final. We started that game trying to go through the middle. Tijani and Ikpeba, who have our wings, they didn't start. We were trying to go through. Okocha and Kano and the rest trying to go through those strong Cameroonians that you can't pass through the middle, and I think that affected us a lot in that particular game. Now, what kind of tactical formation do you think can clip the wings of the Ivorians from what you have just seen, Emma?
Well, I think, they said when you have things going for you, you don't need to change it. I think the Nigerians so far, they have done so well in the ability to absorb pressures, defend very well defensively, and then try to play on counter-attack where you have Oliseh, Lukman, and Simon Moses, coming on board. I expect them to maintain, the same level of their playing. There is no need trying to change the formation, or there is no need trying to, come up with different plan. This is what has been working for them, and then they need to stick to that. But of course, they also have to, to be more in terms of their capacity, the responsibility from individual point of view to collective point of view. Yeah, we would have loved whereby, you see your wingers, adventure much into the offensive part of the game where they can, be able to supply more balls to Oliseh. But we have seen that in this tournament, we are not having that easily. And we have adopted the style that we have adopted, and it have worked for us. So I don't think it would be wise for them to, to be able to begin to change formation and begin to change the way they have been playing. What they can do is to look at the areas in terms of their weakness, and also the weakness and the strength of the opponent, and try to, deal with that, mostly when the Ivorians, they are in possession of the ball, and also to be able to take their own chances. Because I think in this final, effectiveness is going to be very key. If you create 10 chances or 5 chances and you were not able to take anyone, and the opponent can create 1 chances and they score, I think then that gives them the opportunity to be able to manage the game, because it will actually throw you out from your normal position that you've been playing, then trying to equalize. Then the game will become much open, and then the opponent can exploit that. But I think they maintain the same way they have been playing and then be focused and be calm in their dealing with both offensive and defensive aspect of the game.
Okay, let's go to Sonny. I know you have a question.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right.
All right, so Skippo, good afternoon. After the game against, I think against, was it Angola now, where he tweeted about, you went on, Twitter, from X, formerly known as Twitter, and you tweeted, one Bali. After Oshime's 5-star performance, another hero is born. What composure, belief in God, and a reassuring smile about our Niger goalkeeper to send us to the AFCON. Now, I can face my FIFA colleagues with a smile. My question is, what were your FIFA colleagues telling you that you needed to face them with a smile?
My brother, it was hell for me the 2 months in Qatar working for the World Cup. Nigeria was not there. 5 nations came in. Sometimes when we're doing tactical analysis or breaking down team formations, especially my South Korean colleague, he used to say to me, it's nice, but where's Nigeria again? I used to so he used to tell me, forget your generation is gone. And I used to tell him, look, we are 220 million people. We are going to come back big time. Now, the best thing these boys have done for me is that they've gotten to the finals. For me, I've already won. Because he now is the assistant coach of the South Korean team at the Asian Cup, and they lost in the semifinals to Jordan. So I am just waiting for us to win this title so I can just send him a small WhatsApp message and say, what did you say about Nigeria again? But in a friendly warfare. Because, but to face it also, we are giants. And a nation like Nigeria cannot afford not to be performing. And that is why people like us who have, we've been blessed to be like these legends of Nigerian football. It's always good for us when the country performs. That's why we're always angry when it doesn't work. That's why we're always pushing, supporting, and praying. We have only one country, you don't have two. So you have to support this one.
Aujourd'hui, avant la finale, vraiment tout se passe bien en Côte d'Ivoire. Donc, je remercie le gouvernement. Conclusion, c'est la victoire de Nigerianpolitics. Dans les derniers.
Allez
welcome back. What is football without fans? Well, what is sport without fans? What is entertainment actually without fans? I mean, how do you go to the stage and then you perform in an empty stage? One of the greatest punishment you can give a football club if for them to play in an empty stadium. We say, we punish your fans will not be there. You just go over there. It's like a king dancing naked. But then when it comes to sports, then that cheering that is coming out from the fans is what spurs you on, what takes you up there. So we still have two legends in the house. We're expecting the third legend. He has not joined, and let's hope he will join soon because we're supposed to move in all the decades. But then having this class in the house keeps us where we are. But before we go back to our legends, because we're talking about today is being devoted to the finals. Our fourth attempt at bringing it home. Like we said, this is our 8th final. Some countries have not qualified at all in the 53 nations in Africa, but we have been there this much. Let's just, before we come to Sonny and Emma, I would just want to talk of just one league, the Bundesliga. What is Alonso doing? 31 matches, they've got unbeaten, 21 in the league.
Yes.
Of course, they said no team has won the Bundesliga unbeaten.
Yes.
Are we looking at history coming in? They lost Boniface, they lost about 4 or 5 of them that came to the AFCON, yet the team is still performing. And yesterday, they knocked Bayern 1, 2, 3 without a reply.
Yes.
What is Alonso doing? Barcelona, Liverpool, everybody's watching.
Ken, I don't know what is happening, but on social media they will say he's cooking.
Yes. What is he cooking?
Alonso is cooking in Leverkusen. and
5 points clear.
And it's really, it's a sigh of relief for me.
Yeah.
Potentially seeing someone other than Bayern Munich go on to win the German Bundesliga. Bayern have been champions for so long. It's almost like they are going to win it. But unlike in the La Liga, where you have like a close fight between Girona, Real Madrid, and probably your other clubs behind them, it's almost as if Bayern Leverkusen are the outright favourites to go on and clinch this title. In fact, yesterday, the bookies favoured Bayern Leverkusen to beat Bayern Munich. I cannot remember the last time in a Bundesliga game that somebody else had lower odds to beat Bayern Munich, and we're playing this game at home. The level of confidence that these boys exuded on the pitch, whatever Xabi Alonso is telling them, trust me, I think it's really, really working. Also, we have to look at the fact that Harry Kane is in his first season in Bayern Munich, and he's scoring goals. He's scoring goals for fun. But a lot of people thought maybe leaving Tottenham will finally break that jinx and go on to win a title. But it's looking now that they might not win anything because I think they're out of their League Cup already.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity for him to at least win something in his first season in Germany. And it's looking like Alonso is going to take that dream away from him. In sharp contrast, there's a Kingsley Coman in that same squad that has not gone a single season since he started his career without winning a title. And Harry Kane has never won a title. So something has to give. Something has to give, Ken.
Sonny, something has to give. Let me ask you, Sonny. Last year, your club, Dortmund, okay. Before we go to Sonny, let us take this caller first. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's go.
Okay.
Go on.
Thank you very much. My name is Mark. I'm calling from Anthony Village right here in Lagos.
Okay, Mark.
We are all very excited for what we are seeing and the performance of our players. The Super Eagles, we are all excited. And for a very long time, the goalkeeping position has really given us a lot of headache in Nigeria. And, because the goalkeeper's position is really something that is very instrumental. And we are excited that at least we finally got that position. Now we know what that can do in terms of the confidence, right? But one of the key areas that I really want to talk about is, the players have performed very well. But I've seen something, not only in this tournament, but these are players who quit. For me, I don't know if the coach or any of the assistants, they listen to this, please, when it features it doesn't know when to make the right passes. Sometimes when you expect him. So please, in the last match, I was cringing that look, half-legged Simon Moses would have been allowed to finish that game. And so please, this is a game that we really need to get it right. Please, Chukwueze, if you're going, know when to pass the ball, know how long you have to hold the ball. And
thank you, Mark. But this your caliber player half-legged to do that. Okay, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Let me go to Skippo. Last you were there. You played in Cologne. You have become a legend. I remember when Nigeria played. I think it was before France '98 or so. When we played some friendlies. I think we played Cologne. I'm not too sure, but I remember them. Sondo Oliseh right there. All of them in the stand. Showing you there, and then appreciating you. How difficult it is, before we come back to AFCON briefly, how difficult it is for other teams to beat Bayern to the title right there in the Bundesliga. Last year, Dortmund gifted that title. When I mean gifted, Sonny, and I know the team pay you small too. You understand? What was this like? Because Bayern, first of all, they do that recruitment in the Bundesliga. Top scorer, the collective. Then whether the collective. Are you seeing something special in Alonso's Leverkusen?
Well, very special. Well, you asked the question, how do you beat Bayern? Well, I was fortunate to be part of the team that did it in 2002.
Hey!
German champions. What we did was that we brutalized them when we played them. We made it a man's game, and we tried, and you don't have VAR then, so it's easy to really brutalize who thinks they are prima donnas. So that's the thing. Now, what Alonso is doing is, I've seen almost all his games, especially because of Boniface. I've seen almost all his games. He's playing, he plays in the central defensive midfield.
Yes.
As a player. Now, when you play that role, you get one tactical advantage is that you are part of attacking, you're part of defending. So you can always manage a team well. And he's put so much intelligence into the team. You can look at the way they organize when they are without the ball and the way they always make themselves playable when they have the ball. That is coming from his own as a player, which was something I used to do in the days. When we're defending, okay, you have to position right to cut off angles for the opposition. And if you're attacking, you have to be able to make yourself available so if the player cannot go for play me back, I will change it, or give the passes. So that is what the man is doing. And furthermore, he's brought belief to the club. This club has never won a title. This club is not one of the most... Leverkusen is not in Leverkusen. Leverkusen is in Cologne. That's what most people don't know.
Wow.
Leverkusen is a city that is linked to Cologne. But it is just like you're saying, how can I say? You say Ikeja Oba or something like that. Yes. It's just like that. So that is how it is. So, but Leverkusen, in fact, it's supposed to be, Bayer Leverkusen, the company that makes drugs. So that is it. So they are just very close. There is just 50 minutes drive from my home here. So I go to watch a lot of games there when I can. Now, if you look at it in this way, the man is doing something very tactical, is that they're always well organized, and they just ran rings around Bayern. Bayern could not understand what was happening. In fact, they scored the last goal. I think the last goal was, at the 95th minute.
Yes.
I think they will win this title.
Sonny, Bayern had one shot on target. One shot on target in 90 minutes.
And it came at the 878 or 88th minute. So it's not something that came in the first half. It came in the second half.
Okay. At the end. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Mark talked about Nwabali. Theo talked about you calling Nwabali. What has the Nwabali effect been like for the Super Eagles? Has that stabilized the back for that? The only goal we've considered, was through. After that first game has gone through the spot. Not from open play. Has you defensive midfielder? Your major thought, like you're talking about Alonso, is to protect your back four. What has the presence of Nwabali, how has it positively affected the Super Eagles of Nigeria in this particular tournament? Before
I analyze fully, let's not forget that against South Africa, there was one particular save the guy did. It was not just the penalties. There was one beautiful shot that he went and parried. Had that ball gone in, I don't know who will be singing this song today.
At all.
But he already showed that he's like that. Now, what he has done, look, if you're going to practically analyze it, let's look at it from this point of view. The situation of things has played into the advantage of Nwabali, because in the sense that we now play 5 defenders. That's what we play. And that's why we are struggling in the midfield, because we are taking one player away from the midfield, we're throwing it to the defense. So we're playing really 5 defenders. We're playing 5-2-1. That's what we're playing now. So that reason, the goalkeeper is better protected now, unlike we're getting in the other games. But it affects us going forward, because we cannot go now in numbers forward, but we are very compact. So that he gives him credit. But what he does very well is like, look at his communication. The man is always trying to communicate with the defense, putting them right and doing things right. And he has a personality. That personality, I like it a lot. You know, he makes a mistake, he smiles. Even though I know inside he's burning, but it's okay. He's smiling, and that sends the message of calmness, and it sends the message of doubt to the opposition. And the way he handled the penalties, you know, it was really, really top notch for me. I can praise him, but just as I praise Ajayi too, you know, because, you know, people are talking of Nwabali, but Ajayi is covering Nwabali a lot defensively. So it's very good for him.
Okay, let's go to Warri. We have Ifeanyi on the line. Hello, Ifeanyi, how are you?
Yeah, Ken, thank you. Good afternoon. I'm good.
Yeah.
Ken, Ajayi, sir. I always greet you, Ajayi. Yeah, hi is the family, hi channel, television, hi everybody.
We are fine, we're fine. We are fine, Fanny.
Thank you so much. Firstly, Ken, let me start by greeting those 2 legends. Oliseh, I call him a past master general, remember. During his playing days, he was the one who can talk to the ball and the ball hears him and understands. He has those passes from the defense, of course, to the attack. Remember, Tunisia 94. Nations Cup opening match against Gabon. Sunday Oliseh was a man, of course, who could speak to the ball and the ball hears him and understand. Of course, the other legend there is Emmanuel Amuneke. In fact, while we were here during that period, we'll call him Ammunition, because if he faces your goal with ball, please begin to sing a different song, because Emmanuel Amuneke must surely score. Remember, Atlanta 96 against Zambia, Tunisia 94. These guys are good. But again, Ken, let me talk on today's match. A good thing, Oliseh and Amuneke, they've spoken so much about them, but I must tell you something today. Final is anybody's game. That you know very well. Yeah. Final, like, you know, it's somebody, like they said, if you score first, hold on to the ball, sit behind the ball, bring in all kinds of tricks and, you know, what have you. And before you know, in 90 minutes to come and go, of course, you are the winner. But I'm wishing the Super Eagles of Nigeria, for which Oliseh and Amuneke played for, and gave all joy during their time, and wishing them the best of all luck. I know at the end of the day, this is going to be a gift to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to my dear Governor Sheriff Oborowere, and a host of others, to show that we are not just Nigerians, but we are Nigerians with a difference. I tell you again, Ken, now look, we have beaten the Ivorians before. Well, it's not a secret to say that we're going to beat them today, but I tell you something, I am boasting and beating my chest that we will come, we will see, and we will conquer today in Stade Ouattara.
Thank you.
That we are Nigerians and we are the best in the world.
All right, thank you, Fanny. Thank you so much. All right,
thank you.
All right, thank you, Fanny. Thank you so much. Let's go to Emmanuel now.
Ammunition.
Ammunition.
Yes.
I mean, let's go to Emma, we are playing. You see, we've looked up, like I look at Nigeria. You know, we hosted in 1980, we won, and in 2000, partially we hosted and we lost in the finals. We have seen AFCON host nations lose in the finals. You understand? I'm just talking about Ghana won in 63 at home. In 65, they went to Tunisia to beat Tunisia in the finals. Ghana also, I think they also in 82. They went to play Libya, you remember, at away, and they played. I mean, Gaddafi adopted. In fact, let me just take a minute. Ghana pulled out of that tournament that they don't have money to go, that they cannot sponsor the team to AFCON in 1982. Then there was a change of regime in Ghana. Jerry Lawrence came in, who was a friend of Muammar Gaddafi. And Muammar Gaddafi told Jerry Lawrence, I can sponsor your team. And they sponsored Ghana, you understand? So Libya sponsored the two teams. They sponsored the Ghanaian team and also sponsored the Libyan team. They played in the final. It went into the penalties and Ghana won. And Muammar Gaddafi has promised that any team that wins will be given golden wristwatches. And the Ghana players all collected golden wristwatches from Muammar Gaddafi. But that was a friendly final in the final. Today, that final not be friendly, Ima. We are playing the Ivorians, who we are beating right there at the group stage, and they are back in this Ivorians are a new one, but we also were on a mission. What will you talk? I'm talking now the same thing as Coach Amuneke and also experienced player Amuneke, who has been in that position. We are playing them in the finals at home. I mean, the players they should not be looking at this. How do you play without having the crowd, without having 60,000 people on your mind, that it is just 22 people on the pitch? How?
Well, I think, like I said earlier, we players, we handle issues differently. And I think when we are on that pitch, we are not seeing any other thing than the ball. And you want to win, you want to score, you want to defend. You are running, you are fighting, you are doing everything to win. It is true that the Ivorians, they are playing at home. We have the 12th player, which is their fans, cheering them up and supporting them. But I think also the ability of the Super Eagles to do things right with the ball and without the ball, we earn them respect, and we also, create a kind of awareness and fear into the mind of the Ivorians. It is true that we have beaten them at the group stage, but of course, final is something you play one, and you like to win it. They want to win it, we like to win it. So it all depends on our readiness from mental aspect of the game. It all depends on our awareness from tactical point of the game, and also some individual brilliance, because in this kind of game also, sometimes you need your individual players, the quality players, to step up, to assume the responsibility to carry the team at the back of their back. And it's very, very important, because it also transmits confidence to the rest of the players. So a whole lot, Ken, is going to play, in this evening final. By 9 o'clock, the game starts. A whole lot is going to be involved. But I don't think the fans, in terms of the Ivorians playing at home, can make the Super Eagles to be nervous, not to play their game.
Okay, as I stick with you briefly here, Sonny just spoke about what Semi Ajayi is doing right there, which people are not seeing, trying to protecting Nwabali and giving him that solidity at the back. Your boy, the boy in green that you discovered for Nigeria, Victor Osimhen, I mean, the supplies have not been, maybe most time we see him coming back. I mean, Sonny also talked about when you are playing five, you also withdraw a lot in the offensive side, because you must compensate. Now, is there any player you believe that can do what you answer that telepathy, send that, cross, send that pass, you don't need to beat, and straight to go and meet Osimhen, the way Sonny does it when you guys were right there in the Super Eagles and then also at the Atlanta games?
Well, I think we have players. You have the likes of Lukman, you have the likes of Simon, even Chukwueze. They can do all this job, but of course, it's a different generation and different time, different eras. And when you look at football, football has evolved a lot in terms of how the players are playing these days. Before, you can have a player like we have Sonny in the middle that can win the ball, that can put the pass where you want the ball to be, that can look up when he has the ball, that knows that Emmanuel Amuneke is going to run to space, that knows that Finidi George or Tijani Babangida. But, now you have different generations and different style of playing in terms of people hang more to the ball, before making the decision. So, but
exactly.
like they said in football, always, Nigeria have played a way that lead them to the final. Whether we like it or not, we have to accept it. Always lead you to the final. Nobody wants to complain. But the important thing is that if the players from the wing, can deliver more balls to Victor Osimhen into the box, because we know how dangerous he is, and we know how aggressive he is. But when those scenarios are not coming, then we must recommend, we must congratulate Osimhen in terms of his character also, because he's a striker. He has been, building life for himself, coming into the middle to fighting the defenders. He basically, automatically, he becomes a nightmare to all the defenders. They're always afraid, even when he's far away, they are shaking. So, but I wish today, these players like Lukman, Simon, or Chukwueze, they can come more into the box and deliver the ball, and that will make the job much easier for them not to, bend so deep. Sonny said one thing, the system that we have adopted, when you adopt to that system, basically you are going to lose the midfield, and then that requires your strikers or even your wingers to be dropping deep to come and receive the ball, and that makes them less effective. I think every system works, but we cannot automatically change the system from what have given us to be in the final. I think they have to stick with that.
Okay. Before we go, because we have a few minutes to go, but I want to stick with Emma before going to Sonny. Emma, during the week while we were celebrating our victory over South Africa, there was also some flinching news that we lost Coach Godwin Ezeland, 84 years old, and then we all know how he imparted here. And I remember that when we had you on this set here live, you remember yourself and Nduka Ogbade, we came in with my dear friend Kayode Tijani. Kayode Tijani is also very close to you, and we also lost, these players. There's a journalist and this particular coach. I don't know if you have, just because we are leaving, just one word for them before we go to Sonny.
Well, I think it's a very painful thing when I hear the death of Kayode, whom I'm close to, and also Coach Godwin. It's a very painful thing to lose people that, and people that have also done so much for the country. And very unfortunate, but death is something one day we all are going to, pay for it. I just pray. I wish them, may their soul rest in peace. And I pray that their family, God will give the family the mind and the courage at this particular time when they are going through the pains of their lost one, to be able to bear for this loss. Kayode is an asset to the nation, and Coach Godwin also is an asset to the nation. These are people that have immensely contributed a lot when it comes to our sport, and we cannot talk about our sport without mentioning these people. Same way like myself, Oliseh, you, yourself, and your colleague over there. A lot of us, when it comes to our sport, we are passionate, we are committed, we want the best for our country, and every one of us have contributed the best we can. And I pray that their soul and the good Lord we accept their soul, and may their soul rest in peace.
Your what final result for today?
I think 1-0.
Who go win now?
In favor of Nigeria.
How you go talk well now? Sonny? Sonny, you are closing the show.
My brother, Nigeria, would they carry him today 1-0 too?
1-0. 1-0. Now so it go be. Now so it go be.
We don't get choice. We don't get choice. No, but what I can just say to Nigerians is this: is that please be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient.
Be patient.
That's impatient. It's a final. It's not this is a game whereby, like I say always, the team that makes the least mistake will win the game.
Yeah.
You don't have a second. You have a second leg to play. So be patient, and that is all we have to do. But when you get a chance, this is a chance you have to take. And once you take the chance, if you have to pack the bus or pack the molu, pack it, and come back home with the cup.
All right, thank you, legends. Thank you, Theo.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, today, 9 p.m., fourth trophy. I'm Ken Ochonogo. God bless Nigeria.